loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. My name is Abby, and as always, the first thing we're gonna do on this new week is do the chakra healing video for the week. So welcome back to the channel, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Seriously, I've just been growing, and I'm just really excited to continue to grow on this platform. So thank you so much for being subscribed. Don't forget to hit the little bell so you get notified every time I post a new video, and stay tuned for more videos coming up. But let's get into the reading. So the bottom of the deck for this week is the Tower and the Moon. So some people will be getting emotionally raked this week as per the cards. And if you did notice, yes, I am going to be using the Santa Muerte tarot deck this week, which means that this reading will be completely channeled by her. So stay tuned to also getting wrecked in this reading, which is going to be a little bit of fun. So this reading is a little bit all over the place, but I feel like it is going to be very direct for some people that need to hear it. And I'm just going to be straight blunt, and whatever comes out, comes out. So don't be mad, and that's what I have to say. The first card that came out for the root chakra is the Seven of Pentacles. And when I saw this coming out, I was like, okay, we've gotten the Seven of Pentacles before. And if you see what it says right here, if you looked at my video on break, because I did a unboxing of this deck, you would have seen like all the different names for the cards. This one says Siembra en Inversión, which is inversion and planting. That's what the siembra means. So this is, if you look at it, you have Santa Muerte there. You have 3 seeds that have been planted, and then you have this tree that's not quite bearing fruit yet, but bearing fruit soon. So with this, what this is telling me is that there was an intention that was set. Okay, specifically for this situation, this is very much going to be of a relationship focused reading, by the way, just because of the way it all came down and all basically. There was an intention that was set within a relationship that's already been it's already existing. This is an existing relationship. This is not a new relationship. This is an existing relationship. Okay, this an intention that was set specifically for an existing relationship, where some seeds have been planted. You could have had multiple years with this person, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years with this person, and it's always kind of like trying to attempt to grow with this person. However, all the time that you have been putting into this relationship has not quite shown the fruit of the relationship as a whole. It hasn't quite developed yet. It's like a little bit stagnant. It hasn't pushed through. You haven't seen the fruits of the labor that you would like to see in the relationship. You haven't had the commitment that you would like to see in the relationship. You haven't gotten the levels of depth and just those ascensions into those relationship situations and those relationship connections that you would like to see in this relationship. And at that point, and it just fell. And at that point, it's just gotten a little bit stagnant because it hasn't grown, even though you put a lot of work into it. You've been watering it. You've been putting a lot of time into it. And actually, let me grab the card so I can show you something. If you look at the Santa Muerte in this deck, she's holding an hourglass right there, because just to signify how much time has been placed on this specific situation, which has been a lot. There's just been a lot of emotional time, physical effort put into the situation, where it's kind of gotten to the point where it's just like, okay, is this thing that I've planted in my root chakra actually gonna grow or not? Because I've been waiting and it hasn't gone anywhere, and I'm kind of just getting a little bit irritated by it. I keep getting stuck in the same cycle. Why am I still in this funk? Why am I still in this situation? Why is it not budging? Why is it not working for me or the other person? What is going on with this? So there's this kind of waiting and in limbo kind of thing happening in the root chakra, because at this point your own body is questioning itself with this situation. With the sacral space, we got satisfaction and relaxation in the sacral space, and this is the 9 of Cups, and you see Santa Muerte, La Blanca, right up here. And in the sacral space, if you actually look at what he's doing, he's thinking, right? He's just contemplating. In the regular Rider-Waite, he is actually like this, and he's sitting all snug with all his cups in a row. Look at my herbs in a row, all my cups in a row, feeling like, you know, I got all my stuff together, I'm feeling good, I'm alive, all this stuff. In this deck, he is thinking, he is contemplating on this all the cards that are in a row. It is a state of relaxation, and it is a state of just, so the sacral space, it's kind of in this stillness right now, as far as the sacral space goes, as far as it being your conductor, as far as it being a manifestation, and working through your sacral space, is in a state of just kind of like, the situation is moving, and it's just like one note. It's not like going up, it's not inclining, it's not declining, it's just something that's just like, that's it. That's kind of as far as you're gonna budge with the situation. Now with the solar plexus, you have the 9 of Swords, and in this deck it's called Amenaza y Miedo. And then you actually have Santa Muerte, which came up in this reading, and this is La Blanca. Okay, now with the 9 of Swords in this deck, Amenaza and miedo. Amenaza means to be threatened, to feel threatened, and miedo is to be scared. And this is how this card looks like. So you see all the swords, and you're just kind of like emotional. This is a very much a mental and emotional getting wrecked by your mind and by your heart at the same time on some spiritual level. I feel like what's coming up for me with these specific cards is that some people are afraid to release the situation. They're afraid of how they're gonna feel, like they're afraid of how they're gonna process it, especially with Santa Muerte coming up, because Santa Muerte is the death card. So that's processing death, release work, transformative work. It is the light at the end of the tunnel after you walk through the tunnel. Walking through the tunnel being that transformation and release that you need to do. So having this fear of losing this relationship, of being without it, of how this person's going to be without you, of, oh my God, you have invested so much time in this relationship and it just hasn't quite done what it needs to do, and kind of being afraid to release it, or being afraid of what that reality of removing this from your life actually looks like. It's a kind of an anxiety. There's always like this, instead of it being like, oh, I'm really in a great space, I'm happy, I'm content, I'm just doing my thing, there's always a fear, there's always anxiety, there's always also jealousy, there's always kind of this like I want to let you go, but at the same time, like, I don't want to let you go type of thing. And I honestly, I hate it when people do that. Those are some of my most annoying. Okay, I'm an avid book reader, I'm a nerd, I'm a Ravenclaw, for those who need to know. Okay, so I read a lot, and one of my biggest pet peeves in reading is one of the main characters just so caught up on like whether or not they need to leave the person, but the person's hurting them, all this stuff. I just get so irritated, especially when I'm reading it as if I was that person, because my inner voice would have been like, excuse me. I'm gonna give you an example, like, and this is gonna be a funny example, but for example, when I first read Twilight, okay, before I even read Twilight, the movie had come out, I believe, and all of my friends were just like, oh my God, Twilight and all the stuff, and it's the shit, and all the stuff. And they were like, oh, Abby, did you read it? Or do you like it? All this stuff, and oh, this person's hot, whatever. And I was just like, I don't know, it doesn't look like my thing. Mind you, please keep in mind that I am an avid book reader, okay? So I chose not to read Twilight because it didn't just seem like my thing. Am I into the supernatural? Am I into vampires? Am I into the... Yes, okay. It comes with the territory of what I do. However, it just didn't gravitate towards me. But I had one friend look at me and was like, and I told them, I just don't like it. And they were like, well, why don't you like it? Did you read the books? Did you see the movie? I was like, no. And they were like, well, you can't say you don't like something if you didn't try it. So I was like, you know what? Okay. And I kind of did this to prove a point. But I read the whole entire series, all 4 books, in exactly 3 days. Okay? In 3 days. Please remember that I'm an avid book reader. And literally by the end of all the books, I had a list, and I still have a list, of why I hate Twilight, why it's a horrible book series, why I hate Bella, why I hate the main character, why I can't stand being in her head, why she's a horrible female lead, why he's a horrible male lead, like all of these. I have a list, okay, a list. And to this day, I compare any book I read, whether like in the bad scale or good scale, like is it as bad as Twilight? That's literally how I categorize and rate my books. Is it as bad as Twilight? Because I was so internally frustrated. There were points even when I read when I was on the second book, because my sister like really liked it, and she had lent it to me because she had it and she was like obsessed. When I almost threw the book at her, because I literally kept throwing her random quotes that I was reading. I was like, does this make sense? Does it make sense? Like, I was so frustrated with this relationship because it didn't make any sense. It was like this back and forth and this toxicity and this mental stuff, and it was just like, I need you but I can't let you go, and but I know I shouldn't be with you, and all of these things. And I'm just like, yo, this is too complicated. Okay, this is just a little, like, I have a lot of Scorpio placements, so I like the complex, but I like depth. Okay, I don't like this fluffy, oh, you look cute and you know you do that one thing one time of the week that makes me feel good, so I'm gonna keep you around because I don't know, I'm like attached to that thing that you do or whatever. Like, I'm not that type of person. I need depth. I need to connect with someone on the deeper level. I need to have really deep conversations. I need to be intellectually stimulated. I need to be very curious about you. You still need to, like, you know, entice me. Like, there's levels to my madness when it comes to, like, you know, my Venus, my love energy. So when people do this kind of thing, it just pisses me off because I'm just like, yo, I can't even deal with you. This is the type of energy of people that are in toxic relationships, who keep like borderline breaking up all the time and just staying together because they just don't, they just can't do what they need to do for themselves. Like, I know that I need to be by myself. I know that I need to, like, heal myself. I know that I need to work on myself. But no, I'm gonna stay with you even though you treat me like shit and we're in this situation and you're not, I'm not treating you right either because it's just not flowing right. We're not communicating right. There's just blockages. But we're still gonna be doing this because I am afraid of how I'm gonna be like if you're gone. If I can't text you tomorrow, how am I gonna be? Oh my God, change. I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of change. And this is why the Santa Muerte card is coming up, because it's like the whole Twilight is her being afraid of what it would be like if he wasn't around, and her coming to terms with what she wants to be, and then the obsessiveness aspect of both characters to each other. And it's just like this mental nonsense of, I love you, but why? Why do I love you? Why am I in this with you? Am I helping you? Am I making you a better person? Do I have a huge role in your life where I'm just supporting you? Are you supporting me? Is that reciprocated? And if that's not happening, why are you afraid to lose this person? It's just like this need for death. And this is when Santa Muerte starts creeping in, like, okay, are y'all ready to let this go or what? Because it's like, it's not working. It's not working. And your inner voice is out here like, I'm emotionally suffocated. I'm emotionally like upended everywhere. I don't feel good. This does not feel good. But then in your mind, all these swords are just like telling yourself, you have this little voice in the back of your head telling yourself what actually you should be doing, because your gut's always going to speak to you, what's actually going on, what actually, all of these different components of it. But then you're only listening to that part of yourself that wants to be possessive and holding on to things. The Death card is ruled by Scorpio, and this is interesting because, as you know, Mercury is a Scorpio, and it's already in its pre-shadow phase, but it's going into retrograde on Halloween. Okay, it's already in pre-shadow phase, which means that the Mercury retrograde-ish energy already started. Okay, it already commenced. And so death energy, when it comes to our words, our thoughts, how we're processing things, it's already happening, which means that this willpower, so in the solar plexus situation with this energy, it's like, okay, what are you afraid of? Process that. It's not easy for a Scorpio to go through the transformational process. I just want to make that clear. Scorpios are a fixed sign. Okay, they're not Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal sign. They're not Pisces. Pisces is a mutable sign, even though Pisces stay in love with their exes. Don't let me get started on y'all. Okay, I'm not gonna get started on y'all. But you have Pisces, which is a mutable sign. At least it's changeable. But Scorpio is a fixed sign. They don't like things to change. They don't want to be in a different space. They don't want to go through an emotional upheaval. That's not what they want. However, they rule transformation, which means that they have to go through these processes. They have to accept change. They have to literally tear themselves apart internally in order for them to accept the inevitable, which is death at the end of the day. And so when it comes to our solar plexus with this energy, it's like, okay, you can keep doing this, you can keep having your fear, keep having this, but you're going to make yourself crazy to the point that you're going to have to do something about this. Okay, I'm just saying. Now for the heart chakra, we have the Queen of Cups, which I'm not really surprised about because there's a lot of emotional energy coming up, especially with the way the rest of the reading is set up. But with the Queen of Cups and the heart chakra, this is a lot of sensitive energy. I feel like a lot of people are going to be in the feelings for a hot minute, especially through Mercury retrograde. Anytime any of the planets, especially Mercury, is in a water sign, it just heightens your mind in connection to your emotional state, because you're going to kind of be feeling all of your thoughts at once. So if you get upset and you're like trying to think about something, you're internally going to be feeling like all of these changes, all of these things happening at once. So with the Queen of Cups, it's just kind of being in that space. Some people might be driving through their heart chakra better than others. Again, if you actually do some stuff about the situation that you're in regards to this, you would actually be able to come out of the situation with a better sense of who you are and how much power you have, and kind of that, because that's the whole point of being a queen. When you think of tarot, this is not the Page of Cups, this is not the Knight of Cups, this is the Queen. So it's about being in control and taking some action into your emotional state. Like if you know that if you're in a situation, if you find yourself in an emotional situation this week where you're like, you know what, I need to just take some me time because I cannot be in this pace right now, do that. Okay, because this week is not the week for you to kind of downplay what you need, downplay what other people, like your space, what others are kind of asking of you. Like if you really need to be like, okay, I know I need some self-care time, if you're not watering me, then I can't water you this week. That's kind of what it's looking at like for the heart chakra. It's just not, it's not the time. It's just not the time. Okay, now for the throat chakra. We got the Hangman. We have the Two of Cups. And then we have the World card. And this is in the throat chakra. Okay? So, I'm going to say this as clear as I possibly can. This relationship that has gotten to the point where you just, it ain't it, it gotta go. Okay? I'm trying to just be straight up blunt with y'all. It gotta go. It's gotten to the point where if you're in your head more about the situation, and it's not like necessarily this kind of relationship where you water me, I water you, we're just so great together, we're in a state of bliss, we're able to work really well together, you're able to support me when I need you emotionally, or to push me to be a better person, all of these things, X, Y, Z, when it comes to work, my business, my dreams, my goals, you push me to be better, you push me to take on things that maybe I wouldn't have taken on had I not had you to support, like all of these things. This has become a very stagnant relationship. This is the combination of these two things, okay? The Hangman it's specifically talking about pausing from the relationship just to be illuminated by what's going on around you. And if you actually look at this card, it's actually Santa Muerte that's actually pausing you in this. And this is La Negra. And La Negra works a lot with low vibrational energies, hexing, unhexing, protection work. She's definitely the OG, but she is also very much works with the darker energies as far as all of her other colors. So when it comes to La Negra, she's having you pause and reflecting on all of this negativity that's been in this specific relationship that's just not working. It's not budging. You keep hitting a brick wall. It's just not going anywhere. It's not, and it's not going to budge because it's not good for you. It's just not. This relationship, as much as you want it to be like the soulmate level, divine, like, oh my God, I was graced by this. This was something that I needed. Like, you talking about like some soulmate shit. This is not it though. I feel like some people wish it was it, but it's really not it. Soulmate relationships will always push you to learning a lesson. You don't always get to keep your soulmates, okay? Literally, you do not always get to keep your soulmates. Once they came and did their little transformation that you needed to get through, they will literally give you the deuces. Sometimes you get to keep your soulmates, sometimes you don't. And that's totally fine. Everybody has to, again, soulmate relationships are a lot more intensified with people. That's why a lot of people confuse them for love, because one of the highest emotions that you can reach is love. So something so powerful as a soulmate connection can feel like, oh my God, there's nothing else this could be but love. No, it can actually be a soulmate connection that just happens to be very intense. And the reason why it's intense is because you need to understand the importance of this person and how their energy and who they are in your life is supposed to rapidly change a situation or a mentality or a blockage that you've been having in your life. And sometimes you really need to process it that way, because some people really want to wish for, oh my God, this is it. I have to marry this person. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, but this is not really a soulmate situation. This is some people who really try to make this a soulmate situation, try to make it seem like they're a soulmate situation, or like, oh my God, no, but we've had these moments. It's not a soulmate situation. Trust me, you would know when it's a soulmate situation, because you would be getting wrecked by a soulmate. No matter what soulmate it is, even if it's the one that you're going to keep. Granted, the one that you keep usually ends up being a little bit more, how do I per se, a little bit, they do have a gentler energy. I will say that. I feel like there's some soulmates that come in with like a force, like you just got punched in the face. But some soulmates are very much like, they come in, they teach you the lessons like it's a gradual thing, and as you grow together, you're kind of evolving and teaching each other lessons in that way. But this is a false soulmate situation. And with the World card coming here, the World is, as you guys know, as I always say this, it is Saturn, okay? He is a planet of karma, time, lessons, and so when the World card comes out, this is a moment of, okay, you have reached your capacity. This is you, by you processing that this you need to let go, and that this is not a soulmate connection, that this is keeping you stagnant, and that this is not going to evolve any better than what it is. You then are able to go to you have learned your lesson about the situation, so congratulations. But then you are able to go into the next whatever thing, okay? And call in the next it's basically like, this is you taking the test, walking out of the room, getting your test score, okay, you know what you got, versus you never taking the test, because even though you've been studying to take the test, you went to school to take the test, but you have not taken the test because you're afraid of what the score is going to be. This is you taking the test, this is you passing that test, and this is you moving on to the next step. That's what the World card is. So this combination in the throat chakra, okay, it's just about you accepting the end of this. It's about you accepting and integrating within this Hangman energy what this relationship really is, what is how it's come about, how you need to finish this situation, because I do see some of y'all ending some relationships, and I'm not really surprised, because as we start coming out of Libra season and it starts getting closer to Scorpio season, as much as Scorpios like love to be in love and love to be in relationships, because they do, okay, they also kind of start sweeping things. This is like spring cleaning, spring emotional cleaning, spring spiritual cleaning, they just spring love cleaning. Like it's call it fall cleaning if you want to, but it's just a whoop, it gotta go. If it ain't working, it gotta go. It's dead weight. You're carrying dead weight right now, so it gotta go. And this week I feel like some of you are gonna come into that realization and just speak that truth from that throat space. This is what this is, because that's the cards from the throat chakra. Now for the third eye, we have the 10 of Cups and we have the Eight of Cups. So if you look at the Eight of Cups, it says escape and búsqueda. So this is escape and searching. See that? And then for the Ten of Cups, we got familia and compañía, which is family and companionship. So with these two cards, this is very interesting because I feel like some of y'all knew that y'all had to get out of the situation, and I'm not really surprised because some of y'all don't be listening to your intuition for whatever the case reason may be. But this is kind of like the process of not only you leaving a situation where you thought you actually, at some point, you convinced yourself that this was going to be the thing, and this was the one, and this was, again, because this is some false soulmate situation, that this was the one, and this was who you're going to marry, and this was whatever, insert X, Y, and Z here. This is you kind of coming into the terms of, okay, so I actually need to escape from this. I need to leave from this. I need to seek this elsewhere. I need to kind of be with myself for a few and just really kind of process and integrate all the lessons that this person has taught me in the past few, insert how much time you spent investing in this relationship. Throughout this time. So, and this is also a moment for you to kind of, because in the third eye, you've known that this was going to happen. You knew that you were going to get to this point. You've been getting messages about it. It's just at this point, there's going to be a level of suffocation that if you continue to entertain this, you're just not going to feel good. Period. Also, understand that this is something, an energy that's coming up as well, because the Ten of Cups energy is something that we actually do manifest at some point in our lives, even though some people are not supposed to do any, like the love thing. Some people are not born to be in relationships. That's 100% a fact. And that really depends on like your chart and different things that are going on, your energy and so forth. It really depends. However, some people are meant to be in that space and some people are not. If that's something that you feel like you want or are called to, or something that you need to work on, and like relationships matter to you and all of these different things, this is, it's not necessarily that it's not coming. It's that you need a relationship that's both equally fulfilling but at the same time liberating to your spirit and self-developing as well. So don't kind of brush this off as like, oh my God, I'm kind of having to do all of these things this week. No, you just need to let go of the things that you don't need to carry anymore. Okay? Okay. Now, the crown chakra is the Four of Swords. And actually, no, the Four of Wands, my bad. And this one says cumplir y llegar. Okay, so cumplir means to fulfill, like to complete is like when you do the thing that you said that you were gonna do. It's that, to fulfill the order, fulfill what you said, for like really like show up for what you actually said what you were gonna do. And llegar means to get there. And like to get at that destination, to get at that point. So in the crown space, this means that in the connection to your higher self this week, you really have to kind of go to bat for yourself. That's really what this is talking about, because this is the Four of Wands energy. This is kind of like the celebration, the being in a happy place, the kind of dreaming up of what it is that you want your future to look like, your energy to look like, what you want in your space, how you want to celebrate what you want to have in your space. I mean, we're getting really close to Thanksgiving and all of that, the season of thinking and all of that stuff, even though as a native Latina, I don't really kind of approve of all the, you know, the Thanksgiving nonsense that goes on. However, there is still kind of the energy of thinking around as a collective, as society, and this energy around like the Four of Wands energy being just like, oh my God, look, I made it, I got here, I'm gonna show up for myself, but I'm gonna keep working on what I need to do in order to get to this place. If you look at the actual picture, he climbed up, he's been traveling all the way to get up to the statue and give thanks for the journey. of getting there. And that's really how you need to approach this when it comes to your crown chakra and your higher self. I suggest some people meditate and do some higher self meditation this week, because I feel like some people need to disconnect from others but come back to themselves at the same time. And when you do the disconnecting from others, when you're not counting on any immediate gratification from others, when you're not expecting a text, when you're not expecting any of that, you need to count on yourself. You need to talk to yourself. You need to be able to download that information from yourself. So I do recommend some people work on some meditation this week, because I feel like it would actually help you move past this blockage and make it a little bit smoother. And this is just complete, is just to really do the work. Like, if you know that this message is resonating with you because you needed to hear it and you've been not doing anything about it for a hot minute, then you know what you need to do. And this card is just like, hey, when it comes up to here with the crown space, you need to do it. That's it. You need to do the thing that you need to do. We don't want to hear no sass. We don't want to hear no excuses. Do the thing and then go check in. Okay? So that is the reading for this week. And it's very much a situation vacation. But I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you got the message that you needed. I feel like this message specifically was for some specific people out there that needed to actually hear this message. So I hope that you got what you needed to get from it. And definitely does not apply to everybody, because that she's definitely telling me that it doesn't apply to everybody, but there's some people actually do need to hear the message. So there's that. So I will see you in the next video. I'm going to be posting a Dollar Tree spell video next, so stay attuned for that. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. There's more videos coming very soon. I'm very excited. Also, don't forget to check out the Patreon. As always, the link will be down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.